Hi guys, this is Saurav here and welcome to another rapid fire series for the NEET 2019. Yesterday's paper, I guess you learned a number of concepts and we'll be continuing with the same exercise on a daily basis for the next few days, and today's paper is the NEET 2017 paper which we are going to solve. All those questions which have been asked over here, we'll try to discuss them as much as possible, but there are certain facts-based questions as well. The most important point is to remember which concepts do get repeated and focus on those concepts, and concepts being the key area, try not to memorize the answers, try to solve them from scratch. A bit of tricks and tips I will keep on dropping, but the point is that please don't remember the answers. You can't remember all answers, and many a times the answers given in a lot of question papers are incorrect. So it is important to go by the logic before you solve a question. Okay, so we have 45 questions and we will try to solve them in as less time as possible. Let's start with the first question. The first question is this: with respect to the conformers of ethane, which of the following statement is true? Bond angle remains the same but bond length changes. Bond angle changes but bond length remains the same. Both bond angle and bond length change, and both bond angles and bond length remains the same. Now it is very important to know that what are conformers? Conformers are these forms. So conformers are these forms. You must have seen them. इस तरह के रहते हैं. This is the staggered form. This is eclipsed form. Now no matter which, by whatever angle you rotate the carbon atoms, the bond lengths do not change. The most that will change is the angle between this and this. That is something known as a dihedral angle. The dihedral angle will change. The dihedral angle over here is 60 degrees. The dihedral angle over here is 0 degrees. So an atom in the front carbon and an atom in the rear carbon, the angle between them, if changes, that does not change the angle at the carbon atom or the bond length. So the fourth option is correct. Both bond angle and this remains the same. Next question. Which of the following pairs of compounds is isoelectronic as well as isostructural? So a lot of books have given a number of answers. A lot of question papers have given a number of answers. Solution keys have given a number of answers, but in my opinion the question is incorrect. Okay, the reason why the question is incorrect is because if I do a cursory glance at the nature of entities, now I have to identify whether it is isoelectronic. Now people are solving this question using the number of valence electrons, but only counting the number of valence electrons does not make things alike. For example, CH4 and SiH4 both have the same number of valence electrons when it comes to forming these two compounds, but that does not mean that CH4 and SiH4 are isoelectronic. Isoelectronic means the total number of electrons have to be equal. So if I look at the atomic number for iodine is 53, xenon is 54, bromine is 35, fluorine is 9, beryllium is 1, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium 1, 4, beryllium is 4, chlorine is 17. Okay, yeah, chlorine is 17, and tellurium will come in the oxygen group, tellurium, polonium. Okay, so oxygen group, after that there is the halogen group. So this lies in the same period as iodine. So this is 52. So if I look at these examples, if I look at these example. So BeCl2 and XeF2, very large difference in the, so this is obviously not an answer. Tellurium TeI2, so 53 times 2, obviously not, and there is, it's not possible. These two are very close, but these two are further apart, like they have a very large difference in the atomic number. IBr2 XeF2, again bromine, iodine, 35, 53, this is 70 plus 53, okay, so that will be 123, and xenon is 54 plus at max 18, so no. Fluorine 3 XeF2, very closely spaced, one electron difference, but we are putting one another fluorine atom that will increase the total number of electrons by 9, so this is also not correct. So in my opinion, none of the options are correct. NEET might have given a bonus in this question, okay, because it's not isoelectronic. It could have been isostructural, but according to the question, it's not isoelectronic. Okay, so this is the usual answer key which is given in lot of questions, but this is not correct. This is not correct. They are not isoelectronic. Though the number of valence electrons could be equal, but the question was not about valence electrons. Next question is this: HgCl2 and I2, when both dissolved in water, will prefer to form which pair of ions, or which species? The pair of species which is formed. Now it is very important to know that what happens during this reaction. I- is a species with which both HgCl2 and I2 would try to react, because they form complexes when they react with both of them. Now the tendency for this reaction to happen is very, very high, and I2 and I3- is one species that would be formed. Now the confusion would be between, so these two are obviously not an answer. I3- to hona hi hai. I2 plus I-, the reaction, the equilibrium constant for this reaction is somewhere about 700 or so. So this is I3-, this should be formed. That 2 and 4 is obviously not an answer. Now whether it is HgI2 or HgI4-2- which will be present, how would I know? HgCl2 will react with I2, will form HgI2, and then it will further react with I- to form HgI4, 2-. HgI4-2-. So the right answer to this question has to be third. The right answer has to be third. Okay. Next question. A mixture of chloro, xylenol and terpineol. This is a very simple question. You must have seen chloroxylenol in a lot of antiseptics. Okay, so Dettol may be halka sa, there is a hint of chloroxylenol which is present. So the right answer to this question is that a function of these two is an antiseptic. Okay, so next. Which is the incorrect statement? Fe.98 has non-stoichiometric metal deficiency defect. It is obviously correct. Fe O.98 nahi hota hai. This is not the right way to represent it. Now the problem with NEET examination is there has been a sequence of like errors. Okay, so this is one of the small errors which people usually miss out, but if I would had been a student, I would not have missed out on this. Okay, if the representation is this, then the representation is incorrect. The correct representation should have been this. The correct representation should have been Fe.980. Then it creates a metal deficiency defect. Okay, so incorrect statement, if this is the representation, this representation suggests that the statement is incorrect. If this is the representation, if the representation would have been this, तब ये सही हो जाता. ठीक है? Density decrease in case of crystal Schottky defect. This is a fact, and this is a correct statement. Insulator, silicon semiconductor, silver conductor, quartz is piezoelectric crystal. This is also correct. Okay. Frankel defect is favored in those which size atoms are almost equal. No, it is when the difference is very large. So this is an incorrect statement. Since it is being asked as the incorrect statement, so this will be an answer to the question. Also, this will be an answer to the question. So the right answer should be 1 and 4th. The reason 1 also turns out to be an answer to the question is because of the wrong representation of the formula. Even typing the formula is important. Like ये तो assumption नहीं लिया जा सकता है ना कि आपने type गलत कर दिया और बच्चे उसको सही समझ लेंगे. Okay, so in my opinion, 1st and 4th have to be incorrect. The right representation should have been this. Okay. Next, the concentration of Ag plus ions in a saturated solution of Ag2C2O4 is 2.2 10 raised to minus 4. Solubility product is to be calculated. Now concentration is given. It's a very simple question. If I just write Ag2C2O4 and just look at how many ions are produced, so I'll get 2 Ag plus ions and C2O4 2 minus ion. Now if the solubility is S, then this will be 2S and this will be S. So for every like if I take the ratio of the amount of Ag plus and C2O4, that will be 2 in 2:1 ratio. So this is exactly the half of this. ठीक है, अब इसके आगे हम बढ़ते हैं. So KSP will be written as 2S square concentration of Ag to the power 2. So concentration is 2S. So this will turn out to be 4S cube. इतना होना चाहिए, ये बोल लेंगे हम. Now this is the solubility product, but do we need to use this? No. For now, no, because it is already given that 2S is equal to 2.2 times 10 raised to minus 4. What is given? KSP is, whenever it is written, it will be written like Ag plus square C2O4 2 minus. I'll write it like this. Now Ag plus's concentration is 2S, which is equal to 2.2. Okay, it's not that S is equal to this, it is given that concentration of Ag plus, so 2S is equal to this. So what is S equal to? 1.1 times 10 raised to minus 4. So what I do is, rather than putting this value over here, I can also choose, I can just put this and this value and calculate the answer. So it will turn out to be 2.2 times 10 raised to minus 4 square 1.1 times 10 raised to minus 4. So 4 to 8 minus 4, that is 12, and this should be 4.84, so somewhere about 5.3 times 10 raised to minus 12. In my opinion, the right answer should be 5.3 times 10 raised to minus 12. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So 5.3 10 raised to minus 12, the right answer is 5.3. D is the right answer. Next question is this: which of the following products is formed when it undergoes aldol cyclohexanone undergoes aldol condensation? Now my request to you guys is, try to revise aldol condensation, try to learn the mechanism, but to solve this question I don't need the mechanism. इसका बहुत simple तरीका है. Aldol condensation is a carbon-carbon attachment reaction. Okay, carbon-carbon bonds बनते हैं. The end product I can just identify if I know the end product in aldol condensation. The end product in aldol condensation will invariably be alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl. The product रहेगा, that will be alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound. So alpha beta unsaturated means this is alpha, this is beta. Don't you see a saturation over unsaturation over here? Yes, and there's a carbonyl. So carbonyl के alpha and beta position पे, or between the alpha beta position, there should be a double bond, there should be a unsaturation. No, dicarbonyl नहीं होगा. It will not be monocarbonyl. This represents monocarbonyl unit and a alpha beta unsaturated. This is wrong, this is wrong. Okay, so the right answer is second. I don't need to know the mechanism, I just need to know what is the end product. End product देख के हम निकाल दे रहे हैं आंसर इसका. Next, the species having bond angles of 120 degree, I don't need to even solve the question, it's very easy. BCl3. Okay, the right answer for this question will be BCl3, because boron in this case is sp2 hybridized. This has been a very common question. NCERT में इसका structure ही दिया गया है. ClF3 will be trigonal bipyramidal, NCl3 will be tetrahedral, and PH3 will be unhybridized. Okay, PH3 will be unhybridized. If anybody believes that PH3 is hybridized, no, it's not hybridized, it's an unhybridized species. The reason why it did not undergo hybridization is deduced by looking at the bond angle. The bond angles are very close to 90 degrees, and 90 degree bond angles are very close to 90, 91 or 92 degree bond angles are possible when hybridization of p orbitals and s orbital does not take place. अब हाइब्रिडाइजेशन अगर होगा तो बॉन्ड एंगल्स 100 पार करते हैं, अगर नहीं होगा तो वो 90 के ही आसपास रहेंगे. ओके, नेक्स्ट, इफ मोलारिटी ऑफ अ डाइल्यूट सॉल्यूशन इज डबल द वैल्यू ऑफ molar depression constant kf will be. molar depression constant, it's a constant. मैंने the नाम में ही constant लिखा हुआ है. Okay, the name itself includes the term constant. Why it is known as a constant? Because it's a feature of a solvent. If it's a feature, okay, it's a characteristic property. जैसे कि density characteristic property होता है एक liquid का. So उसी तरह से molar depression constant is unchanged. The right answer should be fourth. The right answer should be fourth. Okay, let's move ahead. Which of the following is the most acidic compound? Very easy question. All are phenols. All phenols will want to lose the H plus ion which is attached to them. Always remember that if an electron withdrawing group is present in the phenolic compound, then it will tend to lose the H plus ion pretty easily, because the resulting anion will be more stable. मतलब अगर ये H plus आप निकाल देते हो and you form a O minus species, we need to stabilize the O minus species by pulling its electrons. अगर वो stabilize up नहीं करते हैं, then what it will do is it will try to take up the H plus ion that it had given out. क्योंकि आपने उससे H plus निकाला, चार्ज बनाया, चार्ज is like a headache. हेडेक वो लेना नहीं चाहेगा. What it will try to do is it will try to get rid of the headache by taking up the H plus ion. Now how do you reduce the headache? By removing the electron density, by reducing the electron density. Reducing कैसे करते हैं? By having electron withdrawing groups. किस में सबसे ज़्यादा electron withdrawing groups हैं, वो सबसे ज़्यादा acidic हो जाएगा. So 3NO2, this is known as picric acid. Picric acid is one of the strongest as organic acids known. The right answer is fourth. Okay, next question. It is because of the inability of NH2 of the valence shell to participate in bonding. This is known as inert pair effect. Inert pair effect के कारण क्या होता है? What is the behavior of Pb4 plus Pb2 plus? हमें ये मालूम है that as we move down the group, the tendency of the NS electron to undergo unpairing or ionization decreases. So if I take lead, tin, ये सारे ग्रुप 14 में प्रेजेंट है, तो ग्रुप 14 का जनरल कॉन्फ़िगरेशन होता है NS2 NP2. So common oxidation state will be +4, but down the group +2 will be stable down the group. So Pb4 plus is not stable. Pb4 plus would want to convert into Pb2 plus, so it will take up electrons. If it removes electron from something, what would be the behavior of Pb4 plus? Pb4 plus would behave as an oxidizing species. Oxidizing. Okay, ये भी oxidizing लिखा हुआ है. Now, what is the behavior of Sn2 plus? Sn2 plus can very conveniently convert into Sn4 plus. So Sn2 plus would try to give away electrons, turn into Sn4 plus, except for Pb, whose 2 plus is more stable. So Sn2 plus will behave as reducing agent and Pb4 plus will behave as oxidizing agent. The right answer is first one. Okay, so Pb4 plus is oxidizing, Sn2 plus is reducing. Next, Pick the correct statement regarding the following. So what if it is a little difficult to understand, this represents a C triple bond C. So the molecule is CH3 C triple bond C CH. Now इसको आपको H2 H2SO4 HgSO4 के presence में reaction करना है. This reaction is known as hydration of alkyne. This reaction is known as hydration of alkyne. हमें इसका hydration कैसे करना है? Now remember, whenever you perform hydration, you will break a double bond, put a OH on one carbon, H on another carbon. Okay, that's as simple as that. So where should you put the OH group? The carbon atom which could have maximum hyperconjugative structure. For example, अगर हम इसको alkene जैसा treat करें, let's say for a hypothetical moment, I treat it like an alkene, then if this carbon is concerned, it will have 3 hyperconjugative structures because hyperconjugation is the number of alpha carbon hydrogen bonds. So, but this will have 0, so यहाँ पे OH लगा देंगे हम. Double bond CH2, and now we need to perform ketone tautomerism. The right answer to the question will be, यहाँ पे double bond है, this is the right answer should be 4. Now why this is important is because अगर आपके पास ये compound दे दिया गया CH3C C triple bond C CH2 CH3. Now अगर आपको बोला गया कि where should you put a OH group, it becomes a little challenging क्योंकि दोनों तरफ कार्बन है and दोनों तरफ CH3 CH2 alkyl unit और CH2 unit present है. In that case as well, you will follow the same rule. Consider this hypothetically, just consider this for solving the question that this is double bond. तो अगर ये double bond होगा for this carbon atom, this becomes the alpha carbon hydrogen. For this becomes the alpha carbon hydrogen part. So यहाँ पे 3 hyperconjugative structures बनेंगे, यहाँ पे 2. So if I have to put the OH group, I will put the OH group at this position. ठीक है? So I will get 2 pentanone rather than 3 pentanone as an answer to the question. ठीक है? Let's move on to the next question. ठीक है? The right answer is 4th. Which of the following statement is not correct? Catalyst does not initiate a reaction, which is not correct. Does not initiate any reaction. Yeah, this is a correct statement. Okay. The value of equilibrium constant is changed in the presence of a catalyst and the reaction at no. Equilibrium constant value is a constant. Equilibrium would only be attained quickly because the forward reaction and the backward reaction will take place faster, but equilibrium constant value is not going to get changed. The other parts also catalyze mainly biochemical reaction. Yes, enzymes. Coenzymes increase the catalytic activity. That is also correct. The incorrect option is 2 and that is the right answer to the question. Okay? Incorrect पूछा गया है. So our right answer will be 2. So equilibrium constant is not affected. Next. Which of the following is a wrong statement? De Broglie wavelength is given by lambda equals to h by mv, where m represents mass of particle, v represents group velocity, which is quite correct, which is very correct. Lambda is equal to h by p. ये De Broglie wavelength हम इससे निकालते हैं. Uncertainty principle, delta E times delta T. Now a lot of people might have made a mistake in this paper because delta E times delta T दिया हुआ है, but a lot of conjugate variables can be equated using Heisenberg uncertainty principle, that is position momentum, momentum energy, position momentum, energy and position, energy and time. ओके ये सारी चीज़ों को हम कॉन्जुगेट वेरिएबल्स बोलते हैं. सो ऑल द कॉन्जुगेट वेरिएबल्स में एक यू कैन डिटरमाइन वन करेक्टली, देन द अदर थिंग बिकम अनसर्टेन, और देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ एरर इन डिटर्मिनेशन ऑफ दैट, द एग्जैक्ट वैल्यू ऑफ दैट. So this is a correct statement, this is a correct statement. Half filled and full filled have greater stability with greater exchange energy, which is correct, and symmetry. The energy of 2s orbital is less than the energy of 2p in case of hydrogen like atoms, which is incorrect. Hydrogen like atom, in a hydrogen like atom like hydrogen or He plus or Li2 plus, The energy of orbitals is dependent only on the value of n, only on the principal quantum number. Okay, energy of the orbitals depends only on the principal quantum number. In a non-hydrogen like polyelectronic, all of these are monoelectronic, like helium, lithium, beryllium, it will depend on n plus l. Okay, it is very vital to know that this will depend only on n, this will depend on n plus l. Cool? Let's move on to the next question. So right answer to this question is 4th. Next, a gas is allowed to expand in a well-insulated container with an external pressure of 2.5 atmosphere from an initial volume of 2.5 liters, final volume of 4.5 liters. Well insulated जैसे ही बोल दिया, that means it's a adiabatic process. So delta U is equal to Q plus W. I can write it like this. Q will turn out to be 0. So delta U is equal to W. W is minus P external dV. Minus P external value is 2.5. And it changes from 2.5 to 4.5. So this will be 2. That will be minus 5 liter atmosphere. Now liter atmosphere has to be changed into joules, and it will be multiplied by a term 101, that is the conversion factor. If you want to convert 1 liter atmosphere into joules, then you have to how much 1 liter atmosphere will be equal to joules, you multiply it with 101. So if you multiply it with 101, it will be minus 505. So right answer should be 3. The right answer should be 3. Minus 505. Okay. Next, consider the following reactions. Again, I will solve this organic chemistry question without even lifting my pen. देखिए, पहले reaction समझ लेते हैं. X copper forms A and forms silver mirror. तो silver mirror आपको किस में मिलता है? अगर आपने aldehyde लिया है तो silver mirror मिलेगा. That means this A is a aldehyde, and this substance which is treated with copper to form A, copper at 300 degrees Celsius functions as an oxidizing agent. What kind of a compound which contains oxygen gives aldehydes? It is a primary alcohol. So X should be a primary alcohol. So देख लेते हैं, X is a primary alcohol होना चाहिए. तो primary alcohol कितने में options में है? इसमें तो नहीं है. Not present over here, present over here, present over here. Now, what should A be? A should be an aldehyde. So, aldehyde कहाँ है? Methoxymethane. No, this is ether. Ethanol. Right answer should be 3. I don't even need to look for the other options. Other parts को भी मुझे देखना नहीं पड़ेगा. By elimination, I just solve this by looking at what could be the nature of these two things, and with the observation whatever is given. Okay, the right answer should be 3. So in an examination, your eloquence in solving a question is not gonna make any difference. एक बच्चे जिसने क्वेश्चन को 5 मिनट में सॉल्व किया और एक बच्चे ने जिसने क्वेश्चन को 3 सेकंड में सॉल्व कर दिया, दोनों को इक्वल नंबर मिलेंगे. ओके, आपने बोला अपने फ्रेंड को कि यार मैंने तो डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस 10 सॉल्व किए हैं. आपके फ्रेंड ने क्या किया कि ही सॉल्व्ड 30 क्वेश्चंस इन दैट टाइम. Who would be getting more marks? Okay, आप तो ये you can boast that I have solved difficult question, but examination में शर्ट फाड़ के सुपरमैन नहीं बनना है. Okay, you do not have to turn into a superman over there. Okay, you're not fighting with the paper, you're solving the paper. So solve करने के लिए even if you use a memory based method or choose a method of elimination, that works fine. They're not gonna see the eloquence. Okay, eloquence जो होगा वो कॉलेज में जाके आपका दिखेगा. लेकिन अगर आपने पूरे टाइम में बैठ के उतना भी क्वेश्चन नहीं किया, आपने चूज किया सिर्फ डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना, एंड इफ यू चूज ओनली डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन टू सॉल्व एंड यू थिंक दैट ओके मैन आई हैव डन समथिंग ग्रेट, नो यू हैवंट. Okay, what you have done is you have killed your a year of effort. Your objective should be to get answers. Your objective should be to get answers. It's highly competitive. Had it been a subjective examination, probably the way you write your answers could have made a difference. But it's an objective examination. तो किसी को याद हो कि उसने लिख दिया उसका आंसर, किसी ने 3 सेकंड में तुक्का मार के लिख दिया, और किसी ने 10 मिनट में सॉल्व करके लिखा, और तीनों ने करेक्ट अगर किया है तो तीनों को इक्वल नंबर मिलेंगे. ओके, एग्जामिनेशन इज स्लाइटली ब्लाइंड और बायस्ड इन दैट वे, बट वी कांट डू एनीथिंग. So always remember, eliminate if there is a option way. ठीक है? Which of the following is the correct order of stability? It is given alkyne, alkene, alkane. Alkyne I know is more acidic. Terminal alkyne is always more acidic. If it is terminal alkyne, more alkyl groups will reduce its acidic strength. So सबसे ज़्यादा acidic कौन सा होगा? Third. And then most acidic will be alkyne, this one, followed by this one, because there is one CH3 unit. So if in a terminal alkyne the number of alkyl units increase, it will reduce the acidic strength. So 2 for this, and this. The right answer to the question will be second. Okay, next. In an electrochemical cell, zinc sulfate CuSO4 is given. EMF of this cell is E1. So how do I write the Nernst equation for this? E1 will be equal to E naught minus RT by 2F ln what will be the oxidized state? It will always be written as the oxidized state by reduced state. So oxidized state is for zinc 2+. zinc oxidation हो रहा है. So हमेशा याद रखो, Nernst equation में जो ऊपर रहता है term, the numerator will always be the oxidized entity, and whatever is in the denominator will always be that entity which is undergoing reduction. ठीक है? Next, if I take E2, now for E2 what have I done is concentration of zinc sulfate has been zinc sulfate has been increased to 1 and copper sulfate has been decreased to 0. So RT by 2F ln zinc का क्या होगा? zinc sulfate ऑक्सीडाइज तो 1 और नीचे ये 0.01. So this will be multiplied with 100 and this will become a smaller value. यहाँ पे हम इसको डेसिमल हटाएंगे तो यहाँ पे 100 लिख देंगे. So this will become a larger value. This will be a smaller value. If this is large, then E2 is small. If this is small, then E1 is large. The right answer should be third. E1 should be greater than E2. Okay, so remember the Nernst equation will always be written numerator whatever is anodic half cell में जो है, this is anode, so you can write anodic and this is cathodic. Okay, always remember this is how the Nernst equation will be written. Clear? The right answer should be third. Just a moment. Yeah, so E1 is greater than E2. Next, the increasing order of basic strength. Again, basic strength is a tendency to give a lone pair of electrons. Nitrogen's lone pair of electrons, the tendency will be enhanced if there is an electron pushing group present in the compound. So electron pushing group is present in third, not present in 1, and electron withdrawing group is present in second. So right answer should be 3, 1 and 2. The right answer will be 3, 1 and 2. So most basic will be third. The right answer should be fourth. Next, which of the pair of ions contain both the species contain both SS bond? Now in inorganic chemistry it might so happen that you do not know some answers, which is fine. Like 45 questions आपने solve नहीं करने हैं. You have to solve 35 questions correctly. Okay, 35 questions आपने correctly solve करना है. 35 questions correctly physics, 35 questions correctly chemistry, and I guess bio में you have about 90 questions. So out of 90, 70 questions you have to solve, and that will just help you go through the examination. Okay, that will. But if you just challenge every question that I have to solve this, no, that is not gonna work. Examination is not a buffet dinner where you end up eating everything. Okay, so examination is something which is like you pick and choose whatever you are able, whatever suits you the best. So what is the right answer to this question? This is a fact-based question. The right answer to this question is S4O6 2 minus and S2O3 2 minus. Okay, so S4O6 has 1, 2, 3 SS bonds. S2O3 has a sulfur-sulfur double bond. Okay, so this is a fact-based question. If you remember this, that's fine. Otherwise, you can just leave this question, solve something else. Next, the correct order of the stoichiometric amounts of AgCl formed when AgNO3 in excess is made to react with COCl3 at 6NH3. It's pretty simple to know. These are Werner complexes, and Werner complexes COCl3.6NH3 would be written as CONH3 6 Cl3 CO, next one CONH3 5 Cl Cl2, and the last one would be written as CONH3 4 Cl2 Cl. ठीक है, हमें ये लिखना है. Whatever is present outside the coordination sphere will only get ionized. The entities which are present inside the coordination sphere do not get ionized. That is what Werner suggested. So all of these three chloride ions can be precipitated as 3 moles of AgCl. So 3 moles of AgCl, 2 moles, 1 mole, 3, 2, 1. The right answer should be 3. Okay. Next question. Next question is this. Match the interhalogen compounds column 1 with geometry in column 2. Again, I'm going to solve the question without lifting the pen. It is to be solved. Now, काफी सारा कुछ दिया हुआ है. जैसे interhalogen बोला, I should get something in mind like ClF3, IF. So ClF3, example of X3 will be ClF3. Example of X5, X prime 5 will be BrF5. X prime 7 will be IF7. ये सारी चीजें मेरे दिमाग में फिट होनी चाहिए क्योंकि हमने इतने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लिए हैं. Now I just look for one option. Let's say I pick B. Okay, ClF3 अगर हमने उठाया तो ClF3 का ज्योमेट्री क्या होता है? T shaped होता है. ClB should be 1. B1 कितने ऑप्शन है? एक ही ऑप्शन है ना यार. There is only one option. Okay, if you choose D, then you have to like work out 3 options. So what I do is I choose that question in which there is least amount of conflict. Okay, I choose that option where there is least amount of conflict. What I'm trying to say is अगर मैं D को choose करता, if somebody would have chosen D, he would have to solve for 3 questions. Somebody would have chosen C, would have been correct. C अगर choose किसी ने किया correct है, B किसी ने choose किया correct है, but somebody if chooses A has to still solve 2 questions. Okay, so I should choose in such questions that one in which the least number of similarities are there. Okay, that's one examination trick that I've given you to minimize, to somehow balance the time versus the amount of questions that have been given. Okay, next, the reason for greater range of, this is a fact-based question. Greater range of oxidation states for actinides is because of very similar energies of 5F, 6D and 7S. Okay, that's the right, it's a statement taken from NCERT. It's the right statement. The right answer to this question is 3rd. Okay, let's move ahead. 20-liter container at 400 K contains CO2. Pressure is 0.4 and excess of SRO. So SRO is solid, this is CO2. So if I look at this equilibrium and the equilibrium constant is Kp 1.6, then the equilibrium constant would be only due to the pressure of CO2. CO2 के कारण ही ये होना चाहिए. The volume of containers is not decreased by moving the movable piston fitted with the container. The maximum volume of container when the pressure of CO2 attains the maximum value. So what could be the maximum value? Kp would be the maximum value. Maximum value is equilibrium में जितना ये maximum बन सकता है, that will be equal to Kp. Because if you try to form 1.7, then it will be a value more than this, and the equation will move in the backward, reaction will move in the backward direction. You know that Q, if is more than K, the reaction moves in the backward direction. So maximum cannot be more than this value. This is the maximum value. Okay. So pressure. So pressure of CO2, if attains the maximum value, it will be 1.6 atm. Okay. Question that needs to be, the volume of containers is not decreased by moving. The maximum volume needs to be calculated when the pressure attains the maximum value. So ये आपका pressure हो गया जिसने maximum value अपने attain कर लिया. Now I take this equation, PV is equal to nRT. Okay, I need to calculate volume. nRT by sorry, if I take number of moles, then I'll write it as PV by RT. What is the pressure given? 20 liters. Since it's an insulated, it's a closed container, so 20 liter is the volume. Pressure is 0.4 RT. लिखेंगे हम ये. So now what I do is, using this information, that is PV is equal to nRT, I try to calculate what is the volume. So volume will be N by P times, or better I write RT by P times N. RT by P value is given as RT by 1.6 क्योंकि हमें maximum pressure निकालना है, that is 1.6. What is the value of N that I have identified? N will be 0.4 times 20 by RT. ये RT cancel हो गया. This will become 4. This will become 5. So answer should be 5. Okay. A slightly twisted question, but not a very difficult one to solve. So the solution is also given over here. अब देख लीजिए. Maximum pressure will be 1.6. Volume of the container at this stage will be V and RT by P. हम ये लिखेंगे. Now since the container is sealed and the reaction is at equilibrium, was not earlier, the number of moles remains constant. Okay, number of mole will remain constant. The number of moles can be identified from this equation. Incorporating N in that, I will get the value of volume. Next, the correct statement regarding an electrophile. Now, electrophiles are electron deficient species which could be positively charged like Na plus, it could be CH3 plus, it could also be neutral like BF3, that's also an electrophile. So, electrophile is negatively no, generally neutral no, can be either neutral or positively charged. The right answer should be, but पहला ही statement पढ़ के मैं answer निकाल रहा हूँ. Okay, I'm not even reading the everything. I just look for, I do a cursory glance to the question and identifying the first key differentiating parameter. The first key differentiating parameter is that with my knowledge of chemistry or with your knowledge of chemistry, what you can identify is cannot be negatively charged. Electrophile है तो negatively charged नहीं होगा. Okay. Which of the following is a sink for carbon monoxide? Now, the sink for carbon monoxide, you guys are all preparing for NEET. It's pretty easy a question. Carbon monoxide sink is not hemoglobin. Carbon monoxide, hemoglobin is like, it wants to take up carbon monoxide, but it's not the sink for carbon monoxide. Sink for carbon monoxide is microorganisms present in the soil. Okay, it's fairly a question for biology, but chemistry वाले paper में डाल दिया गया था. Next. An element with Z114 has been discovered recently. It belongs to which of the following family and group? So, let's try to work out this question. 114 दिया गया है, तो हम कैसे करेंगे? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 4s2, 3d10, 4p6. 4p6 के बाद क्या आएगा? 4p become 4p, n plus l is 5. So 4p के बाद आएगा 5s2, 5s is 5. Okay. Now all of these three will become 5. Now the n plus l value that should come is 6. So 6 will be 4d, 5p, 6s. So this will be 10, this will be 6, this will be 2. All of these will turn out to have the n plus l value is 6. 6 के बाद आएगा 7. 7 के लिए हम सबसे पहले लिखेंगे 4f. Why I'm writing 4f? Because when the total n plus l value is equal, when n plus l value is equal, lower n value has lower energy. It will be written before something has a higher value of n. So 4f, उसके बाद लिखते हैं 5d, then I write 6p, then I write 7s. Okay, this will be a total of 7. 4f 14, 5d 10, 6p 6, 7s 2. ओके, नेक्स्ट. अभी तक कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हो गए काउंट कर लेते हैं. सो दिस इज 10, 10, 20, 30, 38, 48, 50, 56. 56 plus 14, that is 70, 80, 86, 88. 88 तक हो चुका है अभी हमारा. सो यहां तक हम लिख देते हैं 88. नेक्स्ट आई विल गो टू 8. 8 के लिए आई विल स्टार्ट विथ 5f, 6d, 7p, 8s. So 5f 14, 88 plus 14, that will turn out to be 102. ठीक है. 8 कितना हो गया? 112, 114, 88. तो this turns out to be 14, 24, 26. Now the total number of electrons turns out to be 114. I take the valence shell. So valence shell will be the last or the largest principal quantum number which is occupied, not 8s, but 7p is the largest value which is occupied. Okay, largest value which is occupied, 7p. 7p if is occupied, then 7s तो occupied भी है. So S2P2 configuration, NS2 NP2 configuration is for which family? Carbon family. देख लीजिए ये आ जाएगा, वही आ गया हमारा. Okay, so you should know how to write the configuration. This is how you do that. Okay, चलो next question. The correct increasing order for the wavelength of absorption in visible region for the complexes. Now wavelength of absorption will be directly proportional to the difference in the energy of the d orbitals after they have underwent splitting. That depends on something known as electrochemical series. Now if in the electrochemical series if we have taken these three ligands, then H2O is weak field followed by NH3 followed by En. So splits more, splits less. What does it split? It splits the d orbital. आपने देखा होगा crystal field splitting में split करता है. So if there is more splitting, then there is more energy required for transition of the electrons from lower energy d orbital to higher energy d orbital. That means the T2g level to the Eg level. So more energy will be required over here. So wavelength required for this absorption will be less. More energy required for transition, wavelength required for performing that transition will be less. So least will be this, followed by this, followed by this. The right answer, increasing order will be this. Okay, wavelength ये order रहेगा, energy will be opposite. Okay, चलो next question. The example of a sigma bonded organometallic compound, the right answer for this question is Grignard reagent. So Grignard reagent is the right answer because Grignard reagent RMG, there is a sigma bonded unit. Okay, ferrocene, ruthenocene, cobaltocene, they are pi bonded units. Next, which of the following is dependent on temperature? The one which is dependent on temperature and one which is not is pretty evident over here. This is not, this is not, this is not, this is dependent. Molarity depends on temperature. Okay, molarity depends on temperature, normality depends on temperature. Next, for a given reaction, delta H 35.5 kilojoules and delta S is 836 joule per Kelvin. The reaction is spontaneous at किस point पे spontaneous होगा? So I know that delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. If it is spontaneous, then delta H should be less than T delta S. Spontaneous होने के लिए this has to be negative. So delta H should be less than T delta S. So delta H value given is 35.5 times 10 raised to 3 by delta S is 83.6. So temperature should be greater than this value. Temperature should be greater than this value. Let's do an approximation. एक approximation लेते हैं. अगर ये 90 हो गया और ये 30 हो गया तो ये 1/3 और ये 10 raised to 3 होगा. So this will be almost 333 के फॉर्म में रहेगा. If it is in 333, this temperature cannot be more than, cannot be 298. It obviously has to be 425. Okay. My point is, if I take an approximation, even if I solve this, if I have taken approximation, ये 298 लाने के लिए what I have done is, इसको मैंने 90 assume कर लिया, and this I have assumed this to be 30. So 30 and 90, this will become 1/3, and 1000 by 1/3 will be how much? 333 something. So 333.3333 चलता रहेगा. Now if I टेम्परेचर तो यहाँ पे ही ये अप्रोक्सीमेट इसको इंक्रीज कर दिया, इसको डिक्रीज कर दिया, एंड दिस टेम्परेचर टर्न्स आउट टू बी हाउ मच? 333, which is pretty much more than 298. So 298 is not possible. The right answer possible will be 425. It has to be more than that. Okay, 298 तो हो नहीं सकता. ऐसे ही अप्रोक्सीमेशन लेकर 333 आ रहा, राइट आंसर करेंगे तो 425 ही आएगा. Okay. Next, the most suitable method is separation of 1:1 mixture of ortho and para nitrophenols. Now, when two substances are taken which have different types of hydrogen bonding, ortho nitrophenol intramolecular, para nitrophenol intermolecular. So, if two different types of hydrogen bonding take place, the strength of hydrogen bonding is different, then steam distillation is the right method for this separation. Okay. So whenever two different extent of two substances are taken, two isomeric substances are taken, जिसमें hydrogen bonding का extent differ कर जाता है, then we use steam distillation for the separation. So right answer to this question will be steam distillation. Next, which of the following pairs of species of the same bond order? कल भी हमने bond order के ऊपर question देखा था, तो bond order keeps on getting repeated. Please do solve some more questions on bond order. How do we solve? I told you 14, 3 plus 1 electron, reduce bond order by 0.5, minus 1 electron, reduce bond order by 0.5. So CO is 14, NO is 15. Cn minus is 14, CO is 14. O2 16, NO plus 14, 14, O2 16, 17. Same number of electrons, same bond order. Right answer should be 3. Next, this question is slightly challenging because benzyne mechanism से reaction होना है. अब देख रहे हैं NaNH2 very strong base and a aryl halide is taken. Aryl halides do not have that very high tendency to undergo substitution or for elimination, but if I take a very strong base, the reaction will take place like this. What will happen is Br OMe, there is a hydrogen over here, it will react with NH2 minus. This will result in the formation of a benzyne. Okay, this will result in the formation of a benzyne. Now, a new NH2 minus unit will come and react at, it has the possibility of reacting at one of these two places. Now ये वहाँ पे react करेगा because when this reacts it will form something like this. It will form something like this. So there is a possibility of formation of a negative charge over here. Also there is a possibility of formation of negative charge over here if NH2 would have attacked over here. Negative charge would be formed closer to the electron withdrawing group. OMe will withdraw electrons by using its minus I effect. So this species is more stable. This O minus will now take up a proton and the right answer to the question will be A. Sign substitution is the substitution at the same carbon atom. That means sign substitution ये नहीं है. The right answer is 1. Okay, elimination, addition, reaction, elimination, we can say elimination, addition, substitution is nothing but elimination, addition, but the product is incorrect. Okay, the product is incorrect. So the right answer to the question is, you can see this one. Okay. Next is, the first order reaction has a specific reaction rate constant 10 raised to minus 2 seconds. How much time will it take for 20 gram of reactant to reduce to 5 gram? 20 gram reduces to 5 gram. कितने half lives होंगे बताइए? 20 से 10 होगा, 10 से 5. That means 2 half lives. Okay. 2 half lives. So 2 half lives. Number of half-lives will be equal to 2. Okay. What is the specific reaction rate constant? K is given as 10 raised to minus 2. Also I know that T half is 0.693 by K, which is 0.693 times 10 raised to 2. ये हो गया T half. Multiplied with 2 will give us the right answer. So it will turn out to be how much? So this is 69.3 times 2. That will be 138.6. Right answer should be 2. Very easy a question. 138.6. Name the gas which can readily decolorize acidified KMnO4. The right answer to the question is sulfur dioxide. Because sulfur dioxide will undergo oxidation to SO4 2 minus and Mn will undergo reduction to Mn2 plus. Reaction इस तरह से होता है, MnO4 minus plus SO2 changes to SO4 2 minus plus Mn2 plus. Again, this is based out of observation. If you remember this, you can solve this. But if you don't remember this, don't panic, don't worry. You can just shift to the next question. Next, the heating of phenyl methyl ethers with HI produces. You know that ethers, when they react with HI, break to form an alcohol and alkyl iodide. Now, depending on where, like first and foremost, depending on what kind of a substance is given, I can identify where would the iodide ion react after this state. So in this oxonium ion, iodide ion will not react at this point because substitution in aromatic species, aryl unit would not undergo substitution that quite easily, and I minus would preferentially attack over here and this will break. We'll get phenol as the right answer. हमें phenol मिल जाएगा. Okay? चलिए next question पे चलते हैं. Pick out the correct statement with respect to MnCN6 3-. Now, MnCN6 3-, it's a octahedral complex. Now, whenever you see an octahedral complex, try to apply crystal field theory to deduce the hybridization. Okay? और कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स पेयर्ड रहेंगे, तो ऑक्टाहीड्रल तो होगा. तो ऑक्टाहीड्रल मैं यहाँ पे पहले इन दोनों को मार्क कर ही देता हूँ. ये तो होना नहीं है. This will not happen. If it is octahedral, whether it will be sp3d2 or d2sp3, a lot of people say that it will turn out to be d2sp3 or sp3d2 just by looking at the nature of ligand, which is at times correct, but at times it could give incorrect answers as well. If I look at the number of, so Mn is in +3 oxidation state, which Mn's ground state configuration is 3d54s2. So if it is +3, it turns out to be 3d4s0 configuration. Now if there is a octahedral splitting of d orbitals, then electrons will be present like this in a strong field scenario. Electrons ऐसे paired रहेंगे. So 4 electrons which are present in the d orbital, 1 2 3 4, these 4 electrons would not pair up as this will pair with this will pair with this. ऐसा नहीं होगा. Only one pair will be formed. Only one pair will be formed because crystal field theory suggests that only one pair will be formed. ठीक है? और ये S यहाँ पे हो गया, यहाँ पे P. So these two, this and this will undergo, will receive electrons from Cn, and then it will turn out to be a octahedral complex with d2sp3 hybrid. Right answer should be 3. ठीक है? अगर 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रहते तो आप किसी को पेयर नहीं करते. Suppose this would had been Mn+4 and Mn+4 would had 3 electrons. 3 electrons में से एक भी पेयर नहीं होगा. Okay, pairing will take place only if the number of electrons, d orbital electrons in octahedral species is 4, 5, 6, 7 and onwards. ठीक है? Ionic mobility of which of the alkaline ions is lowest when aqueous solution of this salt is put under an electric field? The alkali metal ion which will have lowest mobility will be the one which undergoes maximum hydration. Maximum hydration takes place for the ion which has the highest charge density. So this relation is quite important. Ionic mobility is inversely proportional to hydration. Okay, hydration is directly proportional to charge density, which is charge per unit volume. Charge alkali metals के ऊपर charge uniformly +1 ही लगेगा. Any other charge will not be present. Okay, any other charge will not be present. Means 0 हो सकता है, but लेकिन aqueous solution में डालोगे तो cationic form में present रहेगा, and the cationic form will be +1. So K plus Li plus Rb plus Na plus. And if I look at the size is smallest for lithium. So सबसे ज़्यादा hydration कितना हो जाएगा? Lithium. And if hydration is maximum, ionic mobility will be least. The right answer to this is fourth. Next, the equilibrium constant of the following are N2 3H2 2NH3 K1, N2O2 2NO K2, H2 half O2 H2O K3. For this I have to calculate. Now, a lot of people want to solve these questions orally. बहुत लोग लिख के solve करते हैं. Let's try to work it out if we can solve it orally as well. What we can see is NH3 is turning into a reactant. Same stoichiometry है. Means 2NH3 यहाँ पे था, 2NH3 यहाँ पे हो गया. That means the first reaction is reversed. Whenever a reaction is reversed, the equilibrium constant becomes like it turns into its reciprocal. So K की जगह 1 by K1 होना चाहिए. Okay, K की जगह K1 की जगह 1 by K1 होना चाहिए. So I should have a 1 by K1 unit. Denominator should not have K2. 1 by K1 तो होगा ही. So if it is 1 by K1, then this is obviously not an answer. Next, N2O2NO. एक बात बताओ, NO यहाँ पे आ गया. Am I changing the stoichiometry for NO? No, I'm not changing that. That means the K2 value is not changing. तो K2 तो वैसे ही रहना होगा. So K2 को अगर हमने change कर दिया है, which is incorrect. अब हमारे पास दो ऑप्शन है, K2 K3 whole cube. एक बात बताओ, O2 and O2. If I would had taken these two, okay, to get this 5 by 2, I need to multiply this whole equation. अब देखो ना, H2O is the other part. H2O दूसरे रिएक्शन से आ रहा है, that is K3 से आ रहा है. So H2O क्या है, कोएफिशिएंट कितना लगा हुआ है, 3. तो 3 तब लगेगा जब हमने इक्विलिब्रियम इस रिएक्शन को 3 से मल्टीप्लाई किया. द मोमेंट आई मल्टीप्लाई द रिएक्शन बाय अ सर्टेन नंबर, द इक्विलिब्रियम कांस्टेंट इज रेज्ड टू दैट पावर. सो K3 क्यूब होना चाहिए. किसमें ऑप्शन है? तो ये तो नहीं होगा. K2 sorry, this is the one which is correct. This will not happen. So right answer will be 2. So just by looking at the options and just by looking at the reaction, I've deduced the answer. I do not need to work out so much on like how to solve this. So objective is to solve the question in the minimum amount of time. Okay, 45 question है. Maximum questions आपको minimum time में खत्म कर देना है. Next, which of the following reaction is appropriate for conversion of acetamide to methanamine? Acetamide is this. CH3 C double bond O NH2. It needs to be converted to methanamine CH3 NH2. This conversion will be done in presence of OH minus and X2. The reaction is known as Hofmann-bromamide degradation or Hofmann-bromamide reaction. Hofmann hypobromamide, which is also correct. Carbylamine नहीं होगा, Stephens नहीं, Gabriel thalamide नहीं. Okay, that's the correct answer. Next, the mechanism of a hypothetical reaction is given as this. The overall, this is this could turn out to be a slightly difficult question because it's not very straightforward. अब देखो, जब भी आप रिएक्शन का रेट आइडेंटिफाई या फिर ऑर्डर आइडेंटिफाई करने की कोशिश करते हो, देन यू टेक द स्लोएस्ट स्टेप ऑफ द रिएक्शन. नाउ व्हाट इज द रिएक्टेंट X2 and Y2? Do you see both these reactants in the slowest step? No, only one is present, one is not present. One entity which is present in the slowest step is not the original reactant. So I have to express the original reactant's concentration in the term of X. ठीक है, देखते हैं कैसे करेंगे. So I will write rate as equal to K X2 to the power M Y2 to the power N. ये लिखेंगे हम. If I take the slowest step of the reaction, for the slowest step, rate is proportional to X Y2 to the power 1. Okay, X to the power 1. Also, X is involved in the first reaction. Assuming that this is an equilibrium, I will write K equilibrium as x square by x2. Can I write this? Yes. So x को क्या लिख सकते हैं? X can be written as k equilibrium to the power 1 by 2 times x2 to the power 1 by 2. I will put the value of x over here. K equilibrium to the power 1 by 2, x2 to the power 1 by 2, y2 to the power 1 by 2. 1. इस proportionality को हटाने के लिए I put a constant k. These two terms will now become the new rate constant. The rate constant that ये जो हमने लिखा है, this is this k prime is nothing but the product of these two. If I add the sum half 1, so कितना हो जाएगा? 1.5. Method is, if the slowest step does not utilize both the reactants, then express the concentration of the species which is present in the slowest step but not the reactant in terms of reactant. Okay, this is the method of solving the question. Next, the IUPAC name of the compound is very simple. Aldehyde will get the first preference. हम numbering कहाँ से करेंगे? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So hex 3 keto होना चाहिए. This will not be correct. 3 keto 2 methyl hex 4 enal. I'm sorry, this will not be 1 over here. 1 will be over here. 2 methyl hex 5 enal. Hex 5, no, hex 4 होना चाहिए. The right answer is A. The right answer is A or 1. Next, extraction of gold and silver takes place through the process of leaching. This is known as MacArthur-Forrest cyanide process. MacArthur-Forrest cyanide process. In the cyanide process, what happens is we form a complex with NaCN. So any ore which contains gold or silver, it first forms a complex with NaCN, forms Na2 AgCN2 kind of a thing, and then it is being recovered by reacting it with zinc. Zinc will displace the gold or silver from the complex and will bring it out and in the reduced form. So the right answer to this question will be displacement with zinc. अब देख लीजिए reaction. Silver is present inside the complex sphere and that will be displaced by zinc, and the zinc is used as the last step of the reaction. So with this we finish all questions that were scheduled for today. I hope you learned a number of methods to write the examination, also what to avoid, what not to avoid, and which questions to skip. My target for you guys is like 35. If you solve 35 to 37 questions correctly, that is more than enough, guys. Don't target 45. 35 target कीजिए, time थोड़ा आपको ज़्यादा मिल जाएगा. And if you see a questions which you are not able to solve, just jump on to the next question. Okay. Don't spend a lot of time being eloquent in the examination. In examination, you are supposed to get the answer as quickly as possible. So this is Saurav Goswami signing off, and we'll meet each other tomorrow with one another rapid fire session on NEET. Chaliye, all the best guys. Have a lovely day ahead. Bye bye.